The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Happy Friday and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we analyze and deconstruct all the latest news from your diet, fitness, and health, and whatever else.
See if it makes sense.
Yeah, we want to see if it makes sense for sure, because we do a lot of reading, and we just want to find out what's the best way to get healthy.
Well, because we're all about empowerment, self-empowerment,
Yeah.
and we're doing it for ourselves, and we want to encourage you to do the same for yourself and family.
And I'll tell you, one of the best ways is get some Primal Edge from us. It's only $89 if you get it on a monthly basis.
And you can use Tiger Dollars, right?
Yeah, you can use Tiger Dollars for sure.
Golly, geez, guys, that's like, forget Obamacare. This is self-care. Take your Primal Edge and have an edge on your health.
No doubt about it. And also, give us a call here at 877-927-6648 and check out my newsletter. I had a brand new one coming next week. I got the old one out, and it's packed full of things where you can do your own research.
They're so good. They're so rich. With all the links, guys, you can really stay current and up on the conversations that we're having so that you really are, experiencing an edge on knowledge to stay healthy. Nico had this great article, Rice versus Wheat People. The crop yields different traits. This is very interesting. Listen to this. Independent and individualistic cultures, like those in the West, can thank the cultivation of a certain plant for the way they are. Wheat. In other words, independent and individualistic. The I, the big I.
Right.
Cultures that farm rice are just the opposite. Interdependent and cooperative. A new study from the journal Science reports today.
Well, one of the reasons I like this is because it's certainly what you do frames how you act. Mm-hmm. And I found this interesting because I always had a kind of a mindset that, the Europeans were doing it wrong because they were always very aggressive. They came from aggressive backgrounds, and this is just one of the things that the wheat people, rice people, are showing that the rice people, because the crop takes cooperation because you need standing water, so you need irrigation systems, and that takes cooperation. You can't have one dry land and everybody has to feed the community.
Well, look at the demeanor of the cultures that use rice as a staple: the Japanese, the Chinese, the Asian, the Tibetan, etc., Thailand, even the Spanish-speaking countries. That's kind of interesting. So when you start to look at the difference, I think that's a very interesting thought.
Yeah, there was another article that was titled, "Why Are Some Cultures More Individualistic Than Others?" And Americans, Europeans stand out from the rest of the world for our sense of ourselves as individuals. We think of ourselves as unique, autonomous, self-motivated, self-made. And this is from an anthropologist called Clifford Getz. He said this was a peculiar idea. People in the rest of the world are more likely to understand themselves as interwoven with other people, as interdependent, not independent. In such social worlds, your goal is to fit in and adjust yourself to others, not to stand out. People imagine themselves as a part of a larger whole, threads in a web, not lone horsemen on the frontier. In America, we say that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. In Japan, people say that the nail that stands out gets hammered down. Very interesting perspective how that goes.
So maybe there's something that we can learn. I'm sure that all cultures can learn some. It's probably the best is to have some balance of both. We've got to have some individualism. To oftentimes it can be a good thing for survival, but then maybe not. Maybe the cooperative, approach is what really leads to survival and success.
Well, I was reading these two articles, the one, the rice versus wheat people, and that is an interesting one because that is just a China study, because the northern Chinese cultivate wheat.
Right.
The southern Chinese cultivate rice. And we find that the individuals in the northern China are much more independent. and not so much interwoven. So I said, well, that's interesting. It kind of applies to us here. But now I was thinking, okay, well, what about the hunter and gatherers? Because both of these cultures that we're talking about are farming cultures.
Correct.
They're producing food. Hunter and gatherers don't produce food, they go out and look for it. So that's a different thing. So what have we learned? We know about hunter-gatherers of recent times from anthropologists who have lived and worked with hunter-gathering groups. Some of the best recently known cases are the Buti of the Ituri Central African Forest, the sands of the Kalahari Desert.
Which article are you on? Just so
this is called Hunter-Gatherers.
Okay, I'm with you now.
Yeah, okay. And let's see, so what we have learned, and the Inuit people from the Arctic. And so what are these like? Based on the data, they show that the hunter and gatherers are fully or semi-nomadic, of course, and they live in smaller communities. They have low population densities. They do not have specialized political officials. They have little wealth differentiation among the population, economically specialized only by age and gender.
Interesting.
And usually divided labor by gender, with the women gathering plants and the men more fishing. And
always doing the hunting.
Always doing the hunting, but not necessarily so. Some cross-culture findings are less widely discussed.
So in other words, what did they find out, right?
Yeah. So, you want to read that part?
Well, yeah, no, just compared to the food producers, such as the ones we were just talking about in the rice versus wheat people, the hunter-gatherers are less likely to stress obedience and responsibility in child training. On the other hand, hunter-gatherer cultures that emphasize hunting are more likely to stress achievement in children.
And I think if you let the children kind of act with the children, kind of like the American Indians did, where they took the children, two other children, older children, to help them go blend into the society, knowing what to do.
Right.
Because the child is more likely to listen to a child a couple of years older than any adult.
Yeah, it's kind of like train the trainer.
Yeah, because I always thought adults, they're dumb. You know. I mean, all children think that.
Well,
I think,
you always kind of like look up to and admire those people that are not too far from your peer group.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not until you get older that you start to realize.
Yeah, and jiu-jitsu is kind of, when I started in jiu-jitsu, being a white belt, I looked at the blue belts and the purple belts. I didn't look at the black belts. I was in awe of the black belts.
Right.
But,
reverence, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. And I said, they're a little bit too ahead of me, so I'm listening to this guy, the blue belts, who are giving a little tips and things.
It's like apprenticeship. You move up. Yeah. They also found that compared to food producers, hunter-gatherers showed more warmth and affection towards their children.
And that's something. That was just kind of a nice surprise. Huh?
The songs of hunter-gatherers are less wordy and characterized by more non-words, repetition, and relaxed enunciation. Maybe more mantras.
Yeah, I would think so.
It's kind of more
and of course, remember that the hunter and gatherers use sound as medicine also. Soothing, and of course the war dances. I mean, they use music for all their different activities and emotions.
They were aware of the power of frequency.
Yes, I believe that's true.
And in contrast to food producers, hunter-gatherers are less prone to resource unpredictability, famines, and food shortages. Well, they're a little more maybe kind of a self-reliant in that they go out and find it. So yeah, this was really a great little study you put together here with these articles.
Okay, well then I studied a little farther, because I know that I'm a big fan of rewilding yourself, and we have a few people that do that naturally. And I looked to Mark Sesson, who had 10 habits of hunter and gatherers. And if you wanted to become a hunter and gatherer type with a mind like that, which habits would you form? So the number one thing...
And that's a great thing for all of us to start.
Yeah, I think so, too. And I look at this. Yeah.
Number one, take responsibility.
Bingo.
Hello.
That's the number one.
Yeah, that's what we're doing here every Friday. We want you to take responsibility. We're doing it. We want to take responsibility. And the only way you can do that is by opening your mind. No more eyes wide shut.
Yeah, we often think that, well, taking responsibility is being independent. But taking responsibility is a little balance of being independent and being interdependent. I think it's a nice balance.
Both worlds.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
It's kind of like some of these people locally. We've got some really great people. I've really noticed the St. Pete community is very, fostering a teamwork and growing local and food.
Well, no doubt about it.
And
the downtown St. Pete is just such a great community.
Exactly.
For sure. The number two habit is kind of the opposite: be selfish. So you have the number one habit to take responsibility, and the second one is kind of be selfish. You want to survive. Maybe your children are put ahead of you in certain instances, but certainly you want to survive, and that's the big thing, and you want to take responsibility for everything.
It says here, if you ran yourself into the ground health-wise in evolutionary times, you put yourself at risk. You are a liability to the group. Again, being responsible. I've got to stay strong, so I'm
So that selfishness actually transfers into a balance into the group. Exactly.
That's beautiful.
The number 3 habit, he says, is building the tribe.
Build a tribe. We got a tribe going on here.
We have a tribe going on here, a great tribe at TFNN. I have a great tribe with my Gracie Baja community.
I have a great tribe in my office clients.
Yes, you certainly do.
Yeah, I'm thankful for tribes.
Yeah, we have a little tribe with the Bradenton Paleo people that we visit every now and then.
Yeah, it's so nice to be around people that are each gathering great information and sharing it with the group. We encourage you guys that are listening, go out on Facebook and like Bradenton Paleo. Jasmine's got a great site, and we've got lots of good people
and she's going to be a co-host on here on the day after Christmas. She's going to be the guest co-host
because I'm going to be gone.
You're going to be gone.
Yeah, but that's going to be a good show, so make sure you tune in.
Number 4 habit is be present. Okay, we had a Mindful Living show on here for quite a while, and I think it's going to come back. And this was always about being in the present, being in the moment, being aware of what's going on now.
Primal is a mindful way of life.
No doubt about it.
Yes, absolutely. Be curious.
Be curious. That's number 5.
Isn't that what we are? I mean, every day, one of the reasons that we're all looking for answers, and we're using, I look at the Internet as just kind of a tapping into international consciousness.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about the Internet. You can find things. I was at work yesterday, and Sylvia says to me, how much does it cost to send a postcard to Canada?
You said Google it.
Google it.
Yeah.
She Googled it. It was $1.15 or something like that.
Right,
but,
and the answer is right
the
there.
answer's there. And sometimes you don't find the right answer, but you certainly can find answers there. And I think it's really a beautiful way of communicating with the rest of the world. And my hope is that the restrictions don't come, because this is kind of what I'm seeing.
I like this next one, trust your gut.
Yes, I knew you'd like that one.
You whether you want to call it your gut or your intuition, you're right, because they're both the same. It's really kind of the same thing. We know that gut has been called the second brain.
Well, we use the words interchangeably in that reference.
Right. I truly believe it. It says gut instinct, as modern science understands, is really an interworking within the neural network, a rapid reasoning that absorbs and processes both distinct and subtle clues in the environment. Right. So trust it and use it.
Folks, the number here is 877-927-6648. Please take time to pick up my Health Signals newsletter. And
great resources there. And
and also, the Primal Edge. What a great gift to give somebody. So if you want to give just a one-time bottle, or give them, order an extra bottle for yourself, or if you want to just get on a monthly subscription like we recommend, it's the best thing you can do for yourself.
That's right. So grab some Primal Edge, and we'll see you when we get back.
Okay.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive.
We take it every morning. Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Check out the new look of Tiger TV. Now you can see all hosts, charts, and computer screens live in high definition. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Thinkorswim, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV. Now, crystal clear in high definition, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't seen the new look of Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back. I'm Paige, Clarke, and Nico de Haan. So we've been talking about the 10 habits of highly successful hunter-gatherers. What's the next one, Nico?
Okay, the next one is pick your battles, and this is important. This is just a basic conversation principle essential to nature. To our ancestors, life was a continual process of cost-benefit analysis. Was there something substantial to be gained from an extra effort, risk, or conflict? Was a particular endeavor worth upsetting the equilibrium? 40,000 years ago, there was less room for error in most situations, after all. And the same lesson holds true today in a conversation, in a disagreement, in just going about your basic business routines, perhaps. You really do have to pick your battles. Which ones are worth the effort? Is it worth it?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, at a midlife inventory, or even at the end of your life, will you feel you pursued the right relationships? And the right endeavors, and did you let go at the right times?
And that's the next one. The next one is getting over it. And this is an important principle. And being that we're all taggers and tagresses, take a tip from the cat. When he falls down off the couch and he lands on his feet, he walks away and it's like nothing happened.
Right.
That's a beautiful thing. Let it wash off your back, let it go over your head or whatever. Don't stay mad.
And that is so critical. One of the big things that I work with people in my office is the art of forgiveness. And that doesn't just extend to other people. It extends to
really
yourself.
Inwardly, because to be upset and to be mad, and I've certainly been in those situations where you're so mad, and how do you turn that off? You have to realize, you have to have awareness of what it's doing to you. And that's really when I made the distinction. When I try to look inwardly and say, how is my body reacting to this? Mm-hmm. And of course, the body is following the mind. And when I see that it is hyping me up, and I can see my breathing is different, I can see my mind going crazy, and that's when I have to drop it. And that's a really good principle to get really a part of your life. To go ahead, let's drop it and forget it.
The fact is, each day we let a past hurt, disappointment, or mistake determine our well-being. Yeah. The day we miss living our life to the full potential. So think of that. Just let them go. Kind of have a little ceremony, a little like, I released that. It's no longer serving me. I'm ready to let it go. Yep. And you'll feel lighter and happier.
That's for sure. So number 9 is sharpen your spear. And this is really about focusing on yourself and getting what you may say, getting your weapons ready, but whatever business you're in, whatever social situation or personal situation you're in, you need to be sharp, you need to be focused, you have to have the right answers, you have to do the right things, and that takes a little concentration of yourself and saying, okay, where's the center of me? What are my principles? Going back to Stephen Covey saying the 7 principles of highly successful people, or Tony Robbins who awakened the giant within, or whatever philosophy you're using, even Jesus Christ, if you want to use that reference of saying, okay, who am I?
Right.
And how do I act? And then how do I react to things? Really important principles.
Very good point. That's a good point. And
number 10 is a beautiful one, be affluent. And I think, let's see what it says here. We can estimate that their daily foraging and food preparation time added up to about 6 hours a day. To our ancestors, the concept of affluence, if it existed, was probably very different from what we think today.
Affluence was probably just knowing that you had enough food. For them, the ultimate commodities were time and leisure. Oh, I've got a catch here. I don't have to worry and spend the next day on a trail looking for something.
Well, hunter and gatherers don't hoard.
Right, they don't.
They do plan. They make enough for certain times, and it's certainly if they knew there was a drought coming, or if they had been watching the stars, and that's, I think, why they kept track of time.
Don't you think that's what affluence is, though? I like what they said. The ultimate commodities were time and leisure. I mean, don't you agree with that? Oh. You're wealthy if you have time and leisure. What are we doing?
Well, remember I said weeks ago that the most important thing you can give someone is your own time. Spending time one-on-one with that person. Yeah. Because it seems like today, folks, we don't have much time for anything. I mean, especially this time of year, and I know we all feel it. I mean, you have to do the extra shopping. That extra thing brings anxiety out. You have to decorate things. You have to take them down. All these things are extra things that we're doing during this time of year than other times we're not doing.
Good point.
So it's definitely a time thing.
Yeah, the fact is our basic needs are actually simpler than we think.
I think so.
And, some concluding thoughts on this. The central premise of the primal connection is that we use the model of our ancestors to create just a healthier physical existence, but also a more balanced and fulfilling life. That's what we want to do here. We want to get down to the primal things. Yeah. The most important things. Primal to me means most important.
And we have a Primal phone number. It's 877-927-6648. We have Primal Edge, and we have Health Signals, which is your Primal newsletter. So
that's right.
Go out and check those out for us, and we'll be back in about a few minutes.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418 8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle. This is a good time of year because we were just talking about that. We need extra time for gifts and doing all this stuff. So let's talk about some of this.
It's kind of funny. Remember I told you that, I don't know, the last couple of years I was just kind of like burnt out on Christmas. And kind of blasey and kind of not feeling, just kind of overwhelmed. But for some reason this year I feel a little more in the spirit and have, kind of feeling a little bit more. Maybe it's because we have this little cold snap here. We have to wear our warm clothes.
Well, certainly. Today it's 60 degrees. That is going to be the high today.
Right. We're going to get down to the 40s, I think. Hey, Forbes magazine had a great article, Holiday Gift Guides for Fitness and Good Living, and that's what we do here. And the Larry Olmsted, who wrote the article, he personally checked out everything, and we wanted to share with you some of these cool little toys for the person who's fitness-oriented. Give a gift of good health. Like we said, give them some Primal Edge. Kind of give them that kind of healthy, insurance plan of getting good nutrition.
Or the newsletter for a year. That's a great gift.
Give them the newsletter. But how about turning any office into a gym? This is so cool. Look at this. Stand-up desk.
Yeah, here I've got the picture on the telestrator here, and this guy has this beautiful, and this is the best one I've found. They have some with a built-in desk, but this actually can slide underneath.
It's called the Vera Desk, and it's really a booming popularity. People realize that there's been a lot of evidence-based research coming out of the risk of a sedentary lifestyle. Well, how much exercising and treadmill time or walking could you get while you're just doing your regular work activities?
Yeah, and I see this not so much as exercise, Paige. I see this just as a more health standpoint, because you're not going to be running while you're doing your work, most likely. I'm sure some people do that. But just taking a leisurely walk for an hour and getting some of your work done, because we're pressed for time in this modern era, I think is a great idea. So replacing your desk with a desk that moves up, or even they have for meager amounts of money, you can get these little stands that make it a little bit higher, so you can throw that treadmill. Like this treadmill that I have pictured here is really only $600.
Okay.
So it's really inexpensive. Doesn't have the rails on it. You slide it out of the way. I was thinking just getting this for my studio because it doesn't take up a lot of room.
Right. So instead of when you're working on the newsletter and doing all that research, instead of sitting there, you can be standing and getting your little...
Which I would prefer too.
So, I mean, the concept, guys, is you can have a stand-up desk or you can also add the treadmill function to it.
This is kind of a cool thing. This is a...
Yummy Yoga cookie cutters. Yoga's hot. But it's not like I'm going to buy them in Matter clothes, all personal items. These fun cookie cutters, on the other hand, are a great whimsical holiday gift for your favorite yoga practitioner.
Yeah, so if you know somebody that's really into yoga, it's a kind of a cute idea.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't feel like making cookies because you're getting off of the grains.
Well, you're going to go to our buddies or look at our recipes, which are always full of wonderful recipes that are grain-free.
How about a pair of shoes for somebody?
And what? Are these leather-based shoes?
Yeah, these are Paul Evans shoes, and they're really nice shoes because they're really made from great materials, really soft calf skin, and they run about $170 to $200.
Now, $370 it says.
$370.
But the idea is, guys, remember.
No, $170.
Oh, okay.
$170 to $200. $370 I wouldn't be buying.
You're reading the Garmin Viva Smart price. The shoes are $370.
Ooh, okay.
But the point is that the real leather-made shoes with a real leather sole, we grounded. We were grounding. Now all these synthetic fiber soles, we are not grounded.
Right.
So, there is some advantage to investing, especially if you wear nice dress shoes. They look nice.
This is the $170, and this is the Garmin...
GPS device that VivoSmart has many outstanding features. It's got a curved display. It gives you calorie countdown, distance, and time of day, etc. So a lot of people are going towards these tech devices.
Yeah.
I have to personally say, again, the additional EMF, why do we have to have it right on our person? I have a little bit of
I'm not a fan of it. Even the Apple Watch, as cool as that thing might look, I haven't worn a watch in years.
Why do we need to have it right on our body?
Why do you need a watch? Because you have... But I think there might be a trend of if you can do a lot of things on these things, it might be better than carrying it.
Yeah, the watch industry has really had a change as a result of our cell phones. I mean, people are just kind of, relaxing their...
Well, now it's just an accessory as opposed to a necessary.
A dress accessory. What do you think of this Jetson electric bike? The e-bike category is booming, and in just the past 5 years, the market has more than doubled.
Yeah, if you have a small commute, there's nothing better than a battery-operated little Zippo bike here that you can just get on and not...
you can recharge it in 4 hours and have transportation for $2,000. Yeah, I like that if you're like in a small town. What we have going on in our little town here, Dunedin, where my office is we have a golf cart ordinance.
Yes.
And so many of the local people have golf carts, and they use it to kind of cruise downtown and park for a little.
And we have that in Bel Air too. So it's very cool. And this last one is a
Bakerstone pizza.
Which, because we're Primal, we don't eat too much pizza anymore. It's a cool idea, but there's many little appliances that you can get. You can get a little mixer for your bulletproof coffee, or a blender of some kind. You can certainly get a lot of cool little tools to make your cooking and paleo lifestyle a little bit better.
For people that are on the go too, those hand mixers can be packed in a suitcase, and as long as you pack like a big cup, you can use your hand mixer to make without taking a big blender.
When I travel, I have this little container that I just shake.
Shaker,
and that just works a lot better. And these days you want to pack less and less.
Yeah, true.
So those are cool ideas. There's a lot of different cool ideas with getting stuff. But
one of the things that we were talking about a little bit is, in the paleo world, we're not just talking about gluten-free folks. We're talking about starting to look at grains as a suspect food. All of the grain, starchy type carbs, grains, whether it be rice or gluten, or even in fact, many of these people that I coach, are still, they're so proud of themselves because they've given up gluten, but they spend their entire time on those, I call them the accessory aisle. They're buying all those products that are packaged, boxed, and bagged that say gluten-free, and they've got the tapioca starch and the corn fat, and we're not really solving the problem there. They're still using that food group as a nurturing type.
Yeah, and let me interject something here, because we had a customer in, I think was it this morning? Or maybe, it was yesterday. And he said, I want to lose some weight. He's got a big belly, maybe about 15 pounds of a belly that he could lose. He's a little older than I am, so it's really essential for him. And otherwise, he's very fit. I mean, he comes and works out twice a week. It's a Sylvia's customer. And he says, well, I'm thinking about going paleo to lose this weight. And so he asked me a question, how much alcohol can I drink on the paleo? Is paleo alcohol?
Well, that's a first sign, too. The large, we call that a liver type.
Yeah. So I said to him, I says, yes, of course, alcohol is allowed on paleo, but it's not allowed on losing weight. I mean, there's something that you can't do. You can't have your alcohol and lose weight. Not on a regular basis. Once a week, you want to have 1 or 2 drinks. You can't have your sugars and
your fruits when you're trying to reset them. Because, guys, it's about a primal reset in the brain, and that's really what I call my weight release program. It's more of a primal reset. And, the question is, does a paleo lifestyle help to rework your thyroid, your adrenals, your testosterone? Can it really help you fix your hormones and lose your weight? And I say yes. I
think so, too, because we're taking out the most disruptive foods to your hormones.
Absolutely. The hormones control dozens of bodily functions, including where you deposit your fat, your energy, your libido, your fertility, your ability to sleep, and more. And they also affect the neurotransmitters and emotions.
Yeah. Now, how do you get tested for hormones?
There's a lot of different tests, Nico. There's people that do blood tests for hormones.
Right.
There's people that do saliva tests. I personally believe if you're going to do testing, that saliva is going to give you a more active, more an idea of the active effect of the hormones.
Okay.
The body, just like pH balance, the body does a lot to maintain hormone levels in the blood. A lot of what's floating around in the blood is often bound and not usable.
Okay.
But, do you think you have a hormonal issue? Well, I'd say that most of us do. We've got a lot of hormone disruptors in our environment.
Well, especially on a non-paleo type diet, the indicator or the thing that gets worked the most is the insulin.
Absolutely.
And I always consider insulin as like a...
Well, it's a hormone.
It's a hormone, but it's also the emergency hormone. In other words, it's made to be used very seldom. Those times, maybe in the fall, when you got this fruit, and now you're eating a lot of fruit, and all of a sudden it spikes.
And the instinct is saying, hey, all this food is plentiful, but the winter's coming. And turn on the fat cells. Primal man is eating fruit to put on a little extra padding on those hips and thighs and all through here.
So it makes sense. You go in the apple orchard, and this is what I did when I was 15 years old. We would go into the crab apples and start eating all the different kinds of apples that they have, and come home going, oh my God, I ate too many apples. But the thing is that it's really setting up yourself into the natural world for that gaining of weight that you will need when the weather turns.
So I wanted to kind of go a little bit over this article. So as far as hormone testing, and you can work with your own functionally trained, integrative doctor to get this. I work with a lot of people that bring me in lab work, and we do the best we can. We can also have an idea of what's to diagnose, and we can start doing things like food elimination and homeopathic modulation, which is what I use. I use energy, and I help people balance their hormones, and I guinea pig myself. I mean, you've seen me. I can go up in my weight and come down, but I have to know what works.
Yeah.
And I try it on myself, and sometimes, it's frustrating, to go through that, but I have to know that what I'm asking people to do is something I could do myself, and that would work. If your doctor wants to test your hormones, most doctors test hormones by blood, if they test them at all. You usually have to pull teeth, and there's usually a pretty expensive test. Make sure your insurance covers it. Blood analysis is accurate for thyroid and testosterone, but only if you order the free thyroid and the free testosterone. I just made that point, right? Yes. If it's bound, it does you no good to know what the number is if it's bound. But for adrenal and sex hormones, we use a saliva test, and I have a very comprehensive panel that I use. I can even do some gut analysis through collecting some additional samples. A full saliva test will include your sex hormones, testosterone, all of your estrogens, your progesterone, and your cortisol. See, I believe in chronobiology of managing hormones, and when we look at our cortisol levels, we can learn a lot about how we are adapting to stress and how we're handling insulin by looking at these numbers. Yeah. We want to look at that, and insulin is the key to a gluten-free paleo diet, folks. Insulin can be tested by blood, and it's more well known to doctors than saliva testing. But I'll tell you what, very rarely do I see a client come in with a blood test that has an insulin number. They'll have their glucose, or even their H1C, the hemoglobin A1C, which gives you more of an idea of what your blood sugar has been looking like. So if someone comes into you with a glucose number that's in range, but their hemoglobin A1C is elevated, that means they might have just been good for the test, but overall in the last 3 months, they have not been balancing their blood sugars. But the insulin, folks, is the real number. Yeah. And you really have to ask for it. You have to ask for an insulin number.
A producer asked a question, alcohol will cause you to lose weight because it dehydrates you and disrupts the digestive system. I don't think that's the way it works. Too much alcohol can definitely spike insulin, which can shut off your fat-burning zone. I think the reason where you find alcoholics not being fat most of the time, some are, but the real decrepit ones don't eat a lot because they don't want to catch that, when you eat food, it disrupts the buzz.
Well, it also disrupts their B vitamin synthesis, so we have a lot of B12 deficiency. But think about the person who's really abusing alcohol. I call it the skinny leg arm syndrome. Right. And then the big belly. So what that means is the liver saying, I'm tired.
It's not working.
You're not digesting your food. You're not making enough hydrochloric acid because you don't have the B vitamins to make it. So you're not properly digesting and packaging your food. By the time it comes down the pike, it's viewed as a toxin. And now the liver has to do the cleanup work. And then the liver says, hey, you're giving me all this alcohol. I'm exhausted. So, it's more than just looking at it as a toxin to the liver. It's what it does to your overall digestion.
So let me ask you a question. What about hormone replacement therapy?
Well, what do you mean? What about it? Is there ever a time for it? I believe that the best hormones you can ever use are the hormones that you produce yourself. Okay. And I believe in total body rejuvenation and immortality sciences. I'm very interested in the things. I believe that our body was designed to heal and repair itself, and I'm always looking for ways and techniques to teach my people how they can bring back their own fire. Yeah. But is there a time when we might supplement for maybe what I would call, you've heard me use the word pulsing? Yeah. And when there's total exhaustion and we're trying to heal the glands, we might supplement a little bit while we're turning the system back on. But I use homeopathics and natural foods as information. Well, remember, today, I'm reloading the software.
Yeah, today we're kind of just forcing the women onto this hormone therapy almost automatically, without testing, without regard for their future health, I think. Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah, but, there's some really important things to understand, guys. It's about decreasing. The paleo primal diet is about reducing our dependence on sugar. We weren't designed that way. That's not how we're engineered. And you'll be amazed at how when you take away that stressor, how your liver and all your organs and glands where you conjugate hormones
that
perform
is the
better.
Bottom line, for sure. Folks, we're going to be right back. The number here still is 877-927-6648 if you'd like to give us a call. We'll be back.
You know what's cool? taking something that's good for you, something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive.
We take it every morning. Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has just announced a special sale for the Gold Report for a limited time only. To celebrate the 660th weekly issue of Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, that's more than 12 years, TFNN is having a special one-time sale. Right now, you can receive 60 weeks of the Gold Report. That's 14 months for only $600. We're offering Tom O'Brien's dynamic weekly newsletter at only $10 a week, half off the regular monthly price. By taking advantage of this special offer, you also get a signed copy of Tom O'Brien's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, an $88 value. The Gold Report is published every Tuesday and provides subscribers with Tom O'Brien's expert commentary on the industry, as well as detailed information on a variety of mining equities. This offer is valid for current or new subscribers, but is only good through this week and ends this Sunday, December 21st. Lock in the low rate of only $10 a week for the Gold Report by placing your order at the front page of TFNN.com today. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy. A set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back. Hey, we have John from Rochester, New York, and he wants to talk a little bit about hormones. John, how's it going?
Hey, John.
Good, real good. I hesitate about calling you because my information's a little sketchy for you, and I'm calling for my fiance actually. But she's 58, had a hysterectomy like 10 years ago, had her thyroid out some time ago. She's health-wise, she's in good health and physically good. She goes to the doctor every 6 months. They kind of monitor her thyroid and her cholesterol. and she does take pills for, I think, the thyroid, and then they are telling her that her cholesterol is high. But anyways, the reason I'm calling is she has like a belly on her, and that she's always kind of depressed about, wants to try and work it down, I guess.
Right.
John, she is my perfect client. I know exactly what's going on with her, and most other women over 50, including myself. And I feel like there was quite a few buttons you hit there that I'd be more than happy. Why don't you have her call me? I'll give her a free consult.
Okay, is your email on the...
Paige at TFNN.com. If you have her contact me through there, I'll set up an appointment. And, did you have a specific question right now? But a couple of things that you said I could elaborate on for a minute if that works for you.
Yeah, go ahead and elaborate, please.
Okay. And, again, we're not treating or diagnosing or anything, but what we're doing is we're trying to be mindful and start learning to take care of ourselves. And, without knowing everything, I always caution people that, back at the turn of the century, one of the main reasons that whenever they saw elevated cholesterol, they looked at the thyroid. In other words, elevated cholesterol is a symptom of low thyroid function. And it sounds to me like she's probably being managed by mainstream medicine with synthetic thyroid hormone, which does not fix the person. It fixes a lab result. Very rarely do I see people feel better and get the results they want by being...
Okay.
Yeah.
Could I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
Okay, that reminds me. She was taking the hormone medicine for a lot of years, and they finally told her to cut back or cut it out, and she has, but she does get the sweats now occasionally.
Yeah, I would really encourage her to, we can take a look at it, but there's a lot of other things that we can do, especially if she's had her thyroid removed. I find it hard to believe. What we want to do is find out if she's converting what little thyroid she has. Is she iodine sufficient? Is she actually making that conversion of the T4 to the T3, which is the metabolically stimulating? You said a couple of key things. She's got a little bit of belly fat. Whenever we've had a hysterectomy, we're no longer producing the progesterone that we need to balance out our body. I call that the beauty hormone, the female hormone. Estrogen is the stress hormone. And the more belly fat we've got, the more estrogen we make. So at her age, she's most likely progesterone deficient, estrogen dominant, which coincides with the low thyroid function. And I have quite a number of energetic things that we do that involve either food or water or sound or homeopathics or lifestyle changes that work very well. And I work with a system of hormone balancing that's had success with over 20,000 women, even women and men who have cancer in their family. And, even if they were to decide to do some bioidentical hormone supplementation, their doctors would say it was contraindicated because of that background. So what I have is very safe. It's self-directed, and I feel like I could really help her. What's her name, John?
It's Rhonda.
Well, I'm going to look for a call from Rhonda. We've got to go. We're ending the show, so I'm going to be looking to hear from her. And, I think that she's right up the alley, the type of woman that I can really help.
All right, you guys are great, by the way. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
The show goes so fast.
I know. We need the extra hour, but who has the time these days?
We had so much stuff on the plate.
We're gone.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.